Hello and welcome to Rauta's Reviews. Today I'm gonna tell you about this Canadian artist Joe Caswell, or more importantly, about his project Burden of Ymir. Pardon this autumn light that is going to ruin all these videos. Should I close the curtains too much and these colors would be even more screwed. Anyway, I'm trying to show you with too much of that reflection coming from the sun. It's not like you watch this anyway for details, because if you would already have this nice looking CD, which I think got released already in June 2021, but here we go, a little bit late to the party. But thanks to Mr. Caswell, this CD arrived here fine and sound. Now this one runs some 45 minutes and features, as you can see, the cover. I mean, if you can. There is this giant Ymir, the frozen giant, dead with, I guess, Odin and his brothers. You know, it's all in the Viking stories, and this is in fact a kind of interesting black metal project coming from Canada and still tapping to the veins of Vikings. I mean, of course, usually people say it's Danes and Norwegians, Icelandic people, Swedish, maybe sometimes even Finnish, but not so much, tapping into the veins of Vikings. But then again, Vikings already traveled to places like Finland, which then again later on proved to be United States of America and Canada. Well, more or less, give or take, those countries didn't exist back in the days. But this is not a history lesson. We're here to talk about this interesting black metal band, or should I say black folk band, as it's mentioned here on Metal Archives. Now here, if you take a look, it's interesting to see that the first steps of Burden of Ymir, I don't know why I said something else, Burden of Ymir were taken in 2019, and still, within 2 years, Mr. Caswell has put out 4 full albums, a couple of singles, and a few demos. Quite a pace. And Joe Caswell seems to be the only one in the band. So is it a project or is it a band? Well, that's for you to decide. From Elivagar is 45 minutes roughly, give or take. My CD player said it was just 45 minutes, no second under or beyond it, but here we have a little bit different take on the full length. But anyway, 45 minutes, give or take, 10 tracks, and it's all about melodic black metal with folky elements, folky tunes. Now, I was thinking, honestly, Fintroll, when I was listening to this album and writing the review before talking it to you. I mean, I write my reviews in Finnish, then I talk them in English. Does that make sense? Anyway, and I was basically surprised, and then again not surprised, to see that I'm not the only one having these similar artists for Burden of Ymir to be listed as, well, Fintroll. The thing here is, this is more black metallic than Fintroll is. But, you know, when there are these melodies and also instruments like accordion, I think it's called, used with this music, you kind of have these folky tunes which are much like handshakes. You know, the kind of a similarity, kind of overlapping, but not too much. It's like, you know, the saying goes, brother from another mother. And that's what's going on with these two bands. So, similar, but not too similar. Looking alike, but not too much. Not identical twins, but definitely in the same sub-genre. And my previous review with the previous Burden of Ymir CD was that, you know, it kind of goes far, but not still tapping into the greatness. And to be honest, and I don't want to be this negative Joe, but I'm going to say this still, pretty much the same thing is happening here. This is definitely pretty good an album, definitely more than just mediocrity or almost decent kind of a thing, but it's not full A series band just yet. Now, that might be because I'm not really too much into folky stuff in general. So people who are more than me into what is usually known as folk metal might give, a higher score for this one, because this is nicely conducted, good songwriting, good production, and pretty basic, but still quite good screamy vocals. And having these tempo changes and different, well, tunes or parts of atmosphere here and there. I think this is very, very nicely executed. Now, the only thing why I'm a little bit bitching about it is that, you know, I'm not too much into very happy kind of a music. That is basically the same thing why I'm not a big fan of Fintroll, even though I like that they're doing their own style, and, you know, I respect what the guys are doing. I respect what Caswell is doing with Burden of Ymir. It's just me having this problem with some of the, you know, use of instruments or details and all that stuff. Also, what I think this album is lacking is that kind of a catchiness with these melodies could in fact do. I mean, this could be one of those like wow moment albums, but now it's more like, hey, yeah, it's pretty good, but you know. So if I was producing this a little bit, I would say more catchier parts, even more those hooks that you just can't get out of your brain, and you start humming to them, you start whistling to them, you eventually may start, you know, singing to them. But that's easier said than done, so can't really say that Caswell is doing something wrong. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. But for folk and black metal fans who are into melodic stuff, I would say this is pretty much a must hear an album. Definitely good in its own territory or subgenre, as you might call it, but not for everybody. Those who are looking for more darker and sinister kind of a black metal, maybe not so much their stuff. But people who love those melodies and who love those folkier parts with a smirk on their face, well, go for it. Now, this is out already, like that, June 21st. So, go get it. Go check out the link provided in the description box, and I hope you enjoy it. Meanwhile, take care. Bye-bye.